Hello guys, happy fall. I hope you are all having a wonderful day. Today I wanted to show you guys, well, this weather is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you can see behind me, some of the trees are turning colors. It is in South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina. Here it is October 19th, I believe. But I wanted to show you guys a little tour of our garden. We got frost last night, and if I remember, this is super early for us. So I grew up in Wisconsin, so we're used to frost, I don't know, September probably. Cold, long winters, but here it's super rare for us to have frost this early. So last night, we were actually supposed to get it tonight, but last night they changed it. So I was in the garden late at night in the dark trying to dig out some plants and stuff I wanted to save to move to the greenhouse. And I'm glad I did because a lot of it got nipped. So I wanted to take you guys around the gardens today and show you just kind of what survived and what didn't and see the state of it together. Okay guys, so we're going to start at the front of our house on the front porch. We had just recently planted up these flower beds, which we have been loving. So you can see right away a lot of bit of scorch, some sadness. So these are the Proven Winners Plum Dandy. I was curious, I know it's an annual, but I was just curious how hardy it would be, but that went pretty limp. The Proven Winners Diamond Frost went pretty limp. But I'm so surprised. I know that Super Petunias and Calibrachoa can do pretty well in the cold, and they did. Like, I don't know if a couple nights of frost, but they look so beautiful. So at least they're kind of hanging on. The grass, a little limp, but it's kind of pretty for some texture. That was already like that. It's got some winter burn on it already, or just some dryness that we were waiting in our pots to plant it. But not too bad, just those two plants. If we move over here, the same ones are mirrored. So again, our Diamond Frost, you can just see the limp. The Plum Dandy, all around there. Grass is pretty good. These look great. The Super Petunia Bubblegum. And then these we had just planted out. We might do a separate video to show you guys some of our fall plantings, but this was for the cool weather. All of our beautiful pansies, they look absolutely great. On the front porch, it was more protected, so these actually look fine here, as well as that one. That is so nice. That's exciting. So those look great. Those look pretty great. And then over here is actually the planter Luca planted. These are a little bit of half and half, but they were just annuals anyway. All the pansies look great. So pretty good up here on the front porch. So if we take a step back, here's the front planters. They have grasses in, which honestly you can take them out or leave them. I just love them, like for winter structure. They're so pretty. Even dried like that, they look really pretty. And then we popped pansies and Dusty Miller in there. And let's go see how it looks over on this side. Luca and I actually took a quick peek around the garden because I was really curious how everything was looking. Okay, so here's in front of our shop. These are the perfectly pink Angelonia Proven Winners. They had looked a little dry just from transplant. We just transplanted them. So they look sad, but let me see if they got some wilt on them. They look better though than some of the other ones do. But this, I'm so impressed by. Look at this bed, you guys. It looks untouched. Isn't that beautiful? The frost hadn't affected that too much. Yeah, they feel great. So I'm pretty impressed. If we swing around here is the new bed that we planted up as well. That was all pansies and ornamental kale, I believe it was. So I knew those would do great. Here is in front of our tropical area. I don't know if you guys saw the video recently. It was windy yesterday, so I put the chairs face down. They were blowing around because they're pretty light. I knew the nasturtiums would get nipped. They love the cold, but they do not do well with any type of frost. So sad to go, but I knew it would happen. That might be some good chicken food. But I didn't get a chance to dig out our palms to put them in the greenhouse, so I just put a plastic bag over them, so hopefully they're doing good in there. And there's one in there, And there's one over there. I'm gonna try to dig them out today and put them in our greenhouse. Here is the other side with the nasturtium, very sad and limp, so that one went, as well as the elephant ear, and I expected those to go too. They're pretty delicate. And then if we swing over here, these were the hyacinth beans, and well, the deer ate the bottom half, and then I expected those to go too, as well as if we enter the garden, the Luffa up there. There you go, you can see it. You can see that probably took the worst of the burn or the frostbite. I actually, since they moved the frost from tonight to yesterday, and we're supposed to have it tonight as well, and Thursday night, but I came out late at night, and I don't know if it's gonna work, but I wanted to save the loofah because I knew they would rot if they got frostbite. So I cut all of them off. They're laying in our bathtub right now, but I want to see if I can dry them without drying them on the vine. If you have done it or you know how to do it, let me know. But I've heard you could peel them and wash them and wash them, wash them and dry them out that way. So I'm gonna try, because we use loofah, like the loofah sponge, which is pretty cool. And then right here we have our pots in storage. I have to take care of those. Here's our pepper plants, so they got it too. I wasn't sure how much these would be affected, but all the pepper plants got it. So I'm gonna rip those out, give them to the chickies. The little ladies will love those. I pulled as many peppers I could get off last night, but I'm gonna pull the rest and probably just stick them. We freeze them anyway, so I'll just stick them in the freezer since they're already somewhat frozen. Got a little nipped with that. If we turn around this way, this is our lettuce. This will be fine with the frost or the cold. You can see it sleeping in there and it looks fabulous. But look at these guys, the flowers. I knew some of them would be okay, but all of them look beautiful. Look at the flowers. They're so pretty after a frost. I might cover them tonight just to extra protect them, because I think it's supposed to get a little cooler. We had, I think it was said it was 32, but I almost wonder if it dropped to 30, which for South Carolina is pretty cold this early on. We usually get this, I don't know, I want to say January or February, but people who've lived here or grown up here, lived here longer, would know better than I would. These all look really great. Love it. These are the Proven Winners Blushing Princess Sweet Alyssum, which I would have to say look more amazing than ever and are as happy as can be, untouched. Look at that. They don't mind at all, a little coolness. Look at that, so pretty. So those are the flowers in our L-shaped beds. More nasturtium right there, got nipped. If we go up here, the loofah got it, but look at the sunflowers. These are the Proven Winners Sun Incredible. They look amazing. Look at that, beautiful fall day sunflowers. I know they're hardy, but still, I was really surprised to see them today. Looking so pretty. You can see there I dug out the pineapple tomatillas, and they are waiting to go in the greenhouse. Here is the tomatoes, which I knew they would get it. If we swing around here, strawberries do great in cold, so they are fine. This is newly planted with kohlrabi, so that's first coming up, so that'll be fine. The kale was pretty frozen this morning when I was feeding it to the chickies, but kale likes cool weather, so they all look great. Here's the other kale, that looks great too. I love it. And if we swing around here, the zinnias, I knew that at some point they would get it, but I was surprised. I thought they'd be a little more hardy. These are the dwarf zinnias. So pretty. So I'm gonna miss those. And then I was surprised too, the angelonia. There you go. You can see the angelonia on this side. And this side, they got it pretty badly too, which I was surprised. They are a summer snapdragon, and I just thought they would last a little bit longer, but that's okay. It was their time. Tomatoes, of course, got it. I'm gonna miss you, tomatoes, but I did a couple things. I came out here last night and I cut clusters and clusters off because I wanted to try. I've seen, I don't know, in Italy, do you guys do this? I've seen people cut them off the vine and just leave them ripen like that. So I cut as many off as I could. And then I also, I picked all the tomatoes that I saw, but I also took off any branches or suckers that I could find. That's why they look all torn up. And I'm going to replant them in the greenhouse and see if I can get a head start on that, because I would love to keep having produce and tomatoes all winter long. You can see how limp the tomatoes look. Here's the back side of the tomatoes. It's always a sad thing when you're time for your tomatoes to be done. One of my favorite things to grow in the garden. All right, so there was the tomatoes. So if we go here, this is the newly planted parsnips and rutabagas. And then here under our blanket, we have our newly grown turnips. They look absolutely great. So a little trick, if you have a cold hardy crop, you can just put harvest cloth over it and it will just keep it as fresh as can be. But look how good they look. Beautiful. Sleeping under there. Nice pretty canopy. And then these are all newly seeded as well. Pak choy, Swiss chard, they all like the cold. These were transplanted just recently from little babies I found around the garden, like little seedlings. They all look really great. Freshly planted with Swiss chard and spinach. This is Luca's stevia. Guys, I'm really surprised. I thought this would be wilted like the tomatoes. That actually looks really good. We have to clean it up because it got wild and it's going to seed. But I'm very surprised how hardy it looks. And then this is newly planted with turnips. So overall, not too bad in the garden. We had some stuff that I was just letting hold on till as long as it would last. So I'm excited to move some stuff to the greenhouse, pull all the rest out, get it cleaned up, and finish getting all of our winter stuff ready, or cooler weather crops ready. Here's a closer look at the flowers. Look at that, Nemesia, Proven Winners, these are all Proven Winners double orchid. Oh! Trailing blue vein. So pretty. Okay, and here's our back patio. Here's the coleus. Coleus do not like cold or frost whatsoever, so they go at the drop of a hat and they get kind of slimy, all wilted looking. So those will be nice to pull out. These are more diamond frost, wilted down, as well as those. So we'll just have some clean up there. Sorry, you got my shadow, but here's we have some more diamond frost. Clean up, and the supertunias look great. The rest looks pretty good. Sorry, this is pretty sunny, but I'm so surprised this is in our back patio. Look how good that looks. I thought this would be taken in the frost and be all wilted, but we're waiting. We might cover it, but the next few nights are more frost, so it might be taken then. But that's crazy. It looks so good. As well as our bed that the deer found. Here's our landscape bed. The salvia all look really good in there. Plain the blues, the Gara, of course, is kind of dried, so that looks good, but they look really good there. And then here's one more area. That's the coleus the deer found and had already eaten, but the sweet potato vine doesn't like the cold, the coleus. And then some more of the diamond frost. It's like its hairdo fell a little bit. Okay, guys, I got this to show you guys. This looks ridiculous. This is one of the Luffa that I harvested in the dark last night from the Luffa vine that I'm going to try to dry, not on the vine. I don't know if that works, but I'll try. But look how massive this is. Look, it's from my head all the way to my waist. Isn't that crazy? Look at that. It's absolutely huge, and it's like beefy. It's got ridges and everything, how beefy it is. I love it. It's amazing. So I have a whole bathtub full of these. They're not as big as this, but pretty close. But this was the largest. Okay, and I think I just have one more area to show you guys. Over here is a new bed that we just did. I'll have to see if we have a video or pictures to show you guys, but it was a mess of junk back here. I've got my giant loofah. You can see that. All right, I'm carrying my giant loofah, so let me set that down. There you go. But this area, I don't know if it's because it's protected by the tree, the warmth of the tree, the way the sun comes up, but anyway, this area is the most, let's see if I can get out, there we go, of the shadow, is the most preserved. Like, we didn't lose hardly any. Right there in those holes were gorgeous impatiens that I dug out because I wanted to put them in the greenhouse. I didn't want to lose them. I'm not sure if I'll pop them back in, or because we'll probably have pretty decent weather, or put them in the greenhouse. But anyway, this was just stuff we stuck in. It was stressed. It's kind of a work in progress, but I'm just surprised the coleus looks really great. Look at that compared to the ones on the porch. These are some hostas that we transplanted, more diamond frost, lamb's ears, some gorgeous lemon coral sedum. We got to clean it out. It's getting full of leaves and the plants are just getting a little stressed. There's some beautiful thyme. Smells so good. More lamb's ear, chocolate drop coleus, some gorgeous Brunera. That's not the deer. That's our beautiful little ladies. Sometimes they are out here foraging when I feed them. We love our girls. They're so fun. We just love having them. Such fun sweethearts. And we gotta go take care of that situation in our flower bed. Uh-oh. Bye. You big naughties. What are you doing in Mama's flower bed? You big naughties. And they take little nibbles. Like this plant, they love to nibble on its white flowering plant. But look at that coleus, how much that one was affected. Those weren't affected. Hi, ladies. Are you trying to say hi? Are you trying to get my attention? Hi, ladies. We love you. Hi, girls. So anyway, I'm pleased that most of this is looking beautiful. We just gotta clean it up and restore it to its former glory, how it was looking. But I wanted to show you that we just had leftover timbers that we just cut the tops off from, I don't remember if it was our fencing project or which project it is, but doesn't that look beautiful? It was just weeds back here. I'm so excited. We're gonna finish cleaning this area up and we're gonna put a bench right there. We got the tree lights on there. There you go. So pretty. Thank you so much for joining me and going around the garden, seeing how everything did with the frost. I have lots of work yet to do. Oh, I gotta show you guys the shop. All the plants I stuck in there for the night, so we might try to go in there. Those are the plants that I'm gonna take to the greenhouse now, get them moved in there, and then I'm gonna do lots of cleanup for the chickens. I also need to water a ton of stuff because if you water it, it'll help it not to freeze. It's kind of like opposite of what you think. It's insulation for the roots, so I'm gonna water it while it's nice and sunny and warm out. But it was so fun checking out everything. It's a beautiful fall day and just enjoying it so much. So hope you guys are too. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. Okay guys, I'm taking you over by the shop. I just want to say, isn't this oak tree absolutely gorgeous? Look how gorgeous that is in the fall. It's so pretty. You can see her. Hear a chicken screaming in the background. Look how pretty that is. Okie dokie, so in the midst of the sawdust and this gorgeous nightstand, number 2 Sebastian made, is so pretty, is our plants that are stuffed in here. You can see I just dug out what I could. They all look really good though for sitting in the cart. Those are the beautiful impatiens I wanted to save. And then I have over here the salvia I'm going to try to put in the greenhouse, and then the tomato clippings that I got. So here's some of the pepper plants that I saved as well. I just dug them out. It was dark and late, and I just set them right here on some cardboard and thought I'd take care of them today, but they look great. And I don't know if they will even transplant well to the greenhouse, but I thought it was worth a shot because I knew I'd lose them in the freeze. So I'm going to try it, and I'll let you guys know, keep you updated how that goes. And look at this beauty starting to bud up. That's exciting. Can see it better. It's a camellia. They look pink, but it's supposed to be the white one. I had it last winter in these. We got one planted, but I still have to plant this. So pretty.